Morning, U-Haul has just released a new survey highlighting California's continued struggle with people moving out of the Golden State.
I'm sorry you're struggling.
KCRA3's Mike DeSalle joins us live in West Sacramento to detail what's in this new report and what it could mean for the future of California.
Yeah, we're at the U-Haul rental location here off West Capitol Avenue in West Sacramento. And, U-Haul stresses that this new report may not directly correlate to population or economic growth, but the company has over 23,000 locations, and they say that does help us get a broader sense of migration trends. So take a look, because in the new report, U-Haul found that California once again ranked dead last in the country in its growth rankings. For the fifth straight year, the Golden State saw the largest net loss of one-way U-Haul customers leaving the state.
What do you think about that?
Now, remember earlier this year, the governor highlighted that the previous year, the state actually saw a net increase in population growth. However, bigger picture, this trend is in line with the longer-term forecast from the state's Department of Finance, which projects that fewer people will be living in California in 2060 than lived here in 2020. And it's in line with census data that shows that since 2000, California has experienced its slowest rate of growth since its formation.
Hard to argue with that one.
So, back out here live. Question is, why does any of this matter? Well, number one, economic experts say slower growth or no growth impacts having enough workers to fill job vacancies. And when it comes to political implications, California's already lost one seat of representation in Congress. And if the trend continues in the negative, there's the potential California could lose more representation.
Well, that is something to celebrate.
All right, Mike, thanks so much for that live report. Now, U-Haul did say South Carolina was the highest growth rate state, followed by Texas, North Carolina, Florida, and Tennessee.
It's funny, Terry. It never seems to not amaze me. California's first in something, right? They want to be first in something. And, they always win the U-Haul challenge, I guess. And here's proof in the pudding. And by the way, guys, we're not here to tell you got to go, you got to leave. We're just here to bring you resources and tools. So here we go, Terry. Yeah, they're leaving like crazy.
I'm just glad I was sitting down, David, because I was shocked that for the fifth year in a row, the number one exodus state in the union was California. And as the report said, they're heading to the south. They're heading to Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Texas. They're heading to the south. And why are they heading to the south, David?
Freedom, buddy.
Freedom. That's
Welcome
right.
to America. And guess what? We did our freedom tour, and where did we go? To all those different cities. So, wow, I guess congratulations. If you could get Newsom on the phone right now, maybe you could ask him, because maybe he wouldn't agree with you that they have more U-Hauls going out than they have coming in. But do you have his direct line?
I don't have his direct line, but I know that my guess is the reason for the increase in California population last year is because, gosh, there's about a 10-mile wide open southern border right now that anybody can walk across into California. And they're allowing this, and they're saying, hey, come on in. And as we know, for some reason, I think it was the U.S. Supreme Court said, hey, even if they're illegal and they aren't supposed to be here, you still get to count them in your census. So I think that's why they're inviting all of these people to come in illegally.
And I want to thank everybody for watching our news, because this is actually our favorite part of the day, when we get to bring you the news, we get to bring you what's happening. And I had a thought before we go, Terry. I know this is a little longer than normal, because I was thinking about this and I thought, Terry, how long are we going to be able to continue to do this? Because once, there's no more news and everything's normal in California, we will have nothing to talk about. So how much longer do you think we're going to be able to bring people these news stories?
I have a feeling, David, you and I will be 6 feet under for many years before that happens.
And now to a live look at the state capitol. Businesses across California are now paying more in taxes because of a series of spending decisions state leaders made over the last couple of years.
Who would have ever thought of that?
The state did not pay back its $20 billion loan from the federal government that helped with California's unemployment costs during the pandemic. The state shut down businesses in response to COVID-19, leaving many jobless and in need of unemployment benefits. Even though the state had budget surpluses coming out of the pandemic, they put nothing towards the principal of that loan. Businesses we spoke to tell us they were caught off guard when they got the recent notice and saw the amount of money that's coming out of their bank accounts.
Just like that. Just like that.
That just feels a little like, just a gut punch after everything else COVID has done to us. So it's frustrating.
Spin class instructor and owner of Cycle Life Studio, Becca Kenyon Westfall, said she was blindsided when she got an email from her payroll company a couple of weeks ago.
It just said, we will be deducting this one-time deduction early January 2025. I still need to look into it more, but from my perspective, or the way that I read it, it looks like it's going to be $63 per employee. And with 3 locations, I have 32-ish employees, so that's like $2,100. Definitely an amount I was not planning on paying.
What does $2,100 mean for you?
I mean, that's a lot. It's a lot. It's a big chunk. I mean, it's almost like half of my, my rent at one of my locations. And obviously, a lot of people cut back during the holidays. We're a luxury business. So, January is typically a good month for us, kind of. But, November, December are not great months. So coming off of that is rough.
Our hours went down, but the payroll was up $2,000. And I said, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, what do you expect?
Down in Southern California, it also happened to Chef Andrew Gruel and his restaurant. He posted about it on X in a post that has since gone viral.
Restaurants don't have thousands of dollars sitting around because we have perishable inventory. So if I knew that there was $2,000 that was going to be taken out of our payroll, I wouldn't buy into futures on some of my seafood. I would have kept more cash in the bank accounts. And I always want that cash available for emergencies.
The businesses, along with every other employer in the state, are now on the hook for the state's $20 billion unemployment debt to the federal government that state leaders failed to pay back on time after the pandemic.
So my problems are your problems.
Every other state except New York and California paid back the debt with the federal stimulus they had received. California got $27 billion in federal stimulus, but the governor and state lawmakers decided to spend that money on other things instead of using it toward the loan.
Why didn't I think of that?
Surprise! Can you imagine, Terry? I mean, my goodness, you're running your business. You're trying to do the best you can. Let's face it, the last 4 years, they've been pretty challenging, right? I mean, you've been a business owner. I'm a business owner. What would you do if this happened to you? I mean, I can't imagine.
I'd get the heck out of California. That's what I'd do. I'd say, look, you can't run your state finances. You can't balance your books. So again, another tax on businesses just to encourage them to get the heck out of that state. I'm telling you, I can't imagine running a business in California. First of all, the employees have all the rights. They can sue for anything, anytime, because you're looked at as an employer. You're looked at as the devil. And here comes another $20 billion that the state of California is going to tax employers per employee, so that until they pay back something that they should have paid back. By the way, wasn't Newsom a year ago or two saying, hey, look at us, we got our $60 billion surplus. Hey, look at us, we're the best in the world. Well, why didn't they pay back the $20 billion they owed the federal government? Because now they got deficits out the wazoo. They don't know what they're doing.
Well, Terry, you're our expert. I mean, obviously, you're the Leaving California founder, and you know more about anything with Leaving California than anyone. But the election's over now, and, things are supposed to go back to normal, and everything's supposed to be fine. Or are there going to be a lot of people still leaving California?
Oh, I think there's going to be. Well, let's not forget that the CARB, the California Air Resources Board, has mandated even stricter guidelines for petroleum manufacturers to make gasoline, which is going to, they estimate, increase the cost of gasoline another 50 cents plus. It's already, I was there, I was in California a while back. It was $4.50 a gallon is what I saw. So let's just say that from now on, at least $5 a gallon in California. And here in Orlando, last night, I paid $2.85 a gallon, which is even higher than most states. But then again, I don't pay a state income tax, so I'm okay with a little bit higher gas. But it's going to be almost to where California is double. Well, they already are double the national average for gasoline.
Well, we just want to thank you again for tuning in to our channel, and we try to find the best stories. And I got to be honest with you guys, we struggle because there's so many stories and we can't cover every one of them. So we have to be selective, but we're going to continue to keep bringing you the top stories and the craziness. And if you're looking to get out, me and Terry are here to help you, and we have so many resources. Thanks for tuning in. We'll continue to bring you the news. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.